Smarts Washington from MTC Media. So Kristaps Porzingis came here to Washington in the trade that sent Dinwiddie and Bertans down to Dallas and finally got on the court. And let me tell you, everyone who is a Porzingis truther loved it. 25 points in 21 minutes in Washington's 133-123 win over the Pacers. We all know that the Wizards owner, Ted Leonsis, has made it clear he does not like to do rebuilds. He's not going to do a strip down. It's why the Wizards are always band-aiding issues. And it's why, frankly, why they're always competing for the 8th playoff spot. And in the modern NBA, now they're competing for the 8th playoff spot along with a play-in game. It's why the Tommy Shepard hire was not surprising. Think about it. If you hire a really good established GM, they come in, evaluate, and say, we need to do a strip down rebuild, which might include like trading Bill. There's no way Ted Leonsis wanted to do that. So hiring Tommy Shepard, you hired a guy in the building who knew how Leonsis felt, who was not going to try to convince Leonsis for this strip down situation. And because of that, at times, that could get you some issues. KP is a big time risk, guys. He's a big time risk. His contract ends in 2024. Okay. He's had issues everywhere he's gone. That cannot be ignored. There's two things you can count on from KP. He's going to miss game due to injuries. And the first time him or his brother get upset, oh, you're going to know about it because he's going to turn into a full-blown diva. Don't believe me? Ask Phil Jackson in New York, who, by the way, is a diva himself, who was incompetent in his job. But that's neither here nor there. Porzingis went full-blown diva in New York. Ask in Dallas. In Dallas, he was playing for a coach that won an NBA championship. Yet he couldn't get along with Luka Doncic because Doncic was the face of the organization. So my question is when Bill comes back next year, and I'm assuming a lot of things, but when he comes back next year, when if Bill and Porzingis bumps heads? When if Porzingis and Shepard bump heads, or Porzingis and Unseld Jr. bump heads? All three of those things can happen, and more than likely, there is a good percentage that one of those three things will happen. He can't win with Bradley Beal like he couldn't win with Luka Doncic because in both cases, ownership made it clear that those guys were the face of the franchise. He'll undercut a GM. He showed he undercut a president in Phil Jackson. And you don't think he'll undercut Unseld Jr., a first-time head coach? Are you kidding me? So it's great that Porzingis had this awakening, so to speak, coming out there, big, stepping out, being a matchup problem, which everyone else envisioned he would have. But we all know what's going to happen. In the words of Men at Work, who would it be now? We know that about Porzingis. It's always going to be somebody. It's always going to be something that gets him in his full-blown diva mode. And he'll be on another team. And that other team is going to say, look at this. He's a matchup problem. He's a this. He's a that. Until he becomes an issue there. We know that about KP.